guys, it's Dr. Drake 63 here, and today I'm going to talk about a little teaming up of a couple of my favorite brands out there in the firearms world, Trijicon and Smith & Wesson. And what I have here is something that's a little bit different from me. It's not that normal Smith & Wesson blue case that we like so much, but it's a gray case from their Performance Center. And what we're looking at in particular is a firearm that is actually a purpose firearm for me, all with their trademark brown wrapper here. And what you're looking at here is the Smith & Wesson. This is the Model 19 Performance Center 3-inch barrel and .357 Magnum. And just going to start off just by looking at this guy. It is not the normal shiny, polished stainless steel or shiny blued steel that you normally see when it comes to revolvers for me. It does not even have that normal trademark. It has the Performance Center stamp on it. But what this is a 6-shot .357 Magnum, and it's got a couple features on it that I really like. A tritium sight, as I mentioned, by Trijicon. In addition to that, it's got a very nice set of Altamont boot grips that come on it. It also came with this rubber grip, if you so choose to go that route. But I like the boot grip. This is a purpose, when I say it's a purpose firearm, this is going to be a carry firearm for me. And that's why I made some aesthetic changes from what I normally like. You're going to notice right here it has a ported barrel. Some of you might have been looking at this sight and saying, well, isn't that a little bit short? And it's got a ported barrel. And where that comes in handy on a 3-inch barrel is if you've got to get a lot of shots off real quick, it's going to help keep you on target, because you get into snub nose, 2-inch barrels, 1 and 7/8, stuff like that, and you tend to get a little bit flippy, especially in .357. But a couple things right off the bat: this has a very smooth trigger, and in single action, it's just as good as you can get, and in double action as well. You notice I can move that pretty quick without having the firearm go off center. And that's really what you want to do, is be able to stay on target. And for a personal defense type firearm, that's always nice to have. So like I said, a couple things I don't normally look for in a revolver. I usually like all the sight radius I can get. So knocking a 1/4 inch or so off of this sight radius, maybe even closer to 1/2 inch, isn't necessarily something that I like, but there's a reason for it. And the porting isn't something that I necessarily like, that you won't see me picking out normally on revolvers. But this is like I said, a purpose gun. And I've been a guy that has been pocket carrying snubbies for a little while now. I like the extra bang you're going to get out of a .357 versus a .38, even in plus P. You put an extra inch of barrel on there for me, and now we're talking. Size-wise, nothing beats a pocket carry type snubby. Here's a Model 36, and here's several that I've pocket carried. Only problem with them is they are a bit snappy. They're no fun to fire at the range, and in .357, even this Model 60 can be a little bit no fun to shoot. Now you might be wondering, well, why would I get the Model 19? Why not just get the 686 in 3-inch? And believe me, I looked at it, but it's a lot of frame in that L frame to carry around. K frame is little bit on the smaller side, and that hence the Model 19. And you can see that the issues that were involved with the Model 19s, i.e. cylinder cone erosion with hot loads due to that flat spot on the bottom, not an issue here. Not an issue here. So I thought long and hard, do I want to carry a 3-inch 686? And came down to the conclusion that no, I don't. So, like I said, this is a different kind of firearm for me. Everybody's different, but for me, this 4-inch barrel on the L-frame 686, just a bit too much for concealed carry. It does have that nice full underlug with 3 inches, which is nice. A little bit more advertising on the barrel than I tend to like, but so be it. And as we talked about, it does have that internal lock, which if I could get this without it, I would. But at first glance, it's something about it just makes you say, what's wrong here? What's wrong with this picture? And it definitely is that short sight, that sight being short of the end of the barrel. So I'm going to be real interested in seeing how accurately I shoot this firearm. I did not buy this for a range gun. Typically I like a 4 or 6 inch barrel for that. However, we'll see with this ported barrel, this might be something that's interesting to shoot at the range. And what I intend to do at some point is when the Colt King Cobra comes out, which is a 3-inch 357 firearm, I am going to compare it to this. But I'm not going to be one of the first guys to get it. So the types of things that you want in a carry revolver this has, some people might say that 3-inch barrel is a little bit long for them. I am going to be in the market for a holster for this guy. There's no question about it. So the type of things I look for in a new revolver, what's the lockup like? And like we've talked before, you pull the hammer back, you depress the trigger. With the trigger depressed, you release it forward, and you can see that you've got extremely tight lockup, but it's got a little bit of play, and that's important. We've talked about that before. The other thing is, does it have any back and forth cylinder shake? And the answer is no. And of course you wouldn't expect that on a new firearm, but I've seen new firearms that have it. Talked about how does it do in terms of what's the trigger pull like, and very nice. You can see there the end of this firearm is actually moving around a little bit more than I'd like, so gonna need to practice. Is it a matter of needing to put a longer grip on here? I'm going to certainly shoot better with a longer grip, but it's going to make it less of a concealed carry kind of option. So the things I like about this firearm that make it a good concealed carry option are the fact that it's got a matte finish. Not going to be real worried about, is it shiny? Is it pretty? Is it the new penny look? These grips are very comfortable. They're wood grips, but they're very low profile, which I like. Comfortable grips, great trigger, and we'll see if this ported barrel makes a difference. I know from shooting the M60 that that's just a lot of, especially out of a J frame, 357 heavy load is just a lot to shoot. I mean, you can shoot it and you can control it, but it's no fun to shoot. So I'm hoping this is going to be a little bit more fun to shoot than shooting a snubby in 357. And we'll find out. But I did my research. I knew what I was looking for. And like I said, would like to compare it to the 3-inch Colt King Cobra when that comes out. But I'm not going to be an early adopter there. So Smith & Wesson Model 19 PC Performance Center. We're going to obviously do some shooting videos of that coming up and give you our thoughts on it. But happy with the quality. I looked at some of the things that you need to look at with a modern revolver, and unfortunately I have to say it with Smith. If you look right here, you need to make sure that your barrel lines up, and the best way to do it is look at, do these serrations perfectly match up with the serrations here on the top of the frame, when you look at the barrel, is it 100% lined up? Do you see any kind of tilt or clocking? These are the kind of things you unfortunately have to look for. They just don't make firearms like they used to. They can. More firearms get through quality control that wouldn't have used to in the old days, back when it was a hand-fitted craftsman thing. And the other thing that we just need to be realistic about, and talking to the gun store owner today, they outsell semi-auto pistols, semi-auto loaders outsell Revolver somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 25 to 1. So what that really tells me is the major manufacturers, Colt, Smith, folks like that, even Ruger, they just are putting the majority of their efforts into getting out what sells, and not a lot of guys are going to buy this. This has been sitting in the gun store where I bought this from for several months, and just the way it is. But we're looking forward to shooting it. This is Dr. Drake 63 saying thanks for watching.